So welcome back, everyone. The market update with Randy Courtney. He is the broker owner of Weichert Realty. Welcome back to the show. You know, you come on, you like to talk a little bit about what's going on in the market, and it is a crazy world that we live in right now. What do you think?
It is crazy, and actually, you know, it's nice that we are in a destination state because people just keep wanting to move here. It's so nice to be in a place where the weather is perfect and people from all across the nation, East Coast, West, mainly West Coast, but a lot of Midwesterners that are coming out, and they're coming in groves. You know, the average net in-migration is about 270 people a day, and most are coming with jobs.
Wow, a day.
Yes,
Wow.
And people, you know, they read these reports about this bubble or this, you know, these prices dropping. They're not dropping. In fact, the latest shows at about a 7% clip right now. So, you know, these economists that are just telling us, hey, it's going to drop. We just don't see it because the absorption has been so robust, and we're just coming into busy season.
Well, I got to tell you, kudos for you this month because this is your 38th year
Yes.
in the Valley helping people sell their homes. And this is something that you are very different than anybody out there that does this. Let me explain to you why, if you don't mind, you know. I meet a lot of people, and there's some people that are really into what they do, and there's some people that are not, but you are really into what you do. It's not for yourself, it is for your clients. And you're all about service, you're all about excellence for sure, and helping them get top dollar for
Yes.
their homes.
Yes, when you're a buyer, we're trying to get the best possible price and making sure that it's a smart buying decision. We're not just trying to, you know, do a quick sale. We want to be the broker you have for life. And so I've got several clients, you know, many clients that are 3 generations deep, where their kids have grown up on me. And if you're a seller, we are actually marketing it correctly and applying the right sales techniques that will get you more in this market, in any market.
And that's something that I want you to describe, because you have talked about that many times, but this is what you hear, what makes him different. You're going to understand why you want to call Randy for all of your realty needs.
Well, thanks. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I look at every home I go in and pretend that I own it. And then we start from the detail of how it's constructed, all the features and benefits in that house. Because if the agent you're trying to align with cannot explain to you all of the things you have in your home, you're not going in the right direction. And that person is going to be like blind leading the blind. And so many times, almost every time when I walk through, I get to the end of our walk of the property, and the homeowner will say, my gosh, you know, we built this home and you pointed out things that we didn't even realize that were upgrades and updates in our home. It just makes all the difference in marketing.
You have said many times that you will tell the people, your clients, what other realtors won't.
Absolutely, yeah. Many times too. I've got several occasions where, you know, I've got an appointment and they're saying, well, you know, I've already booked an appointment, or I booked 2 appointments. One time I had 4 appointments booked. I didn't know about it, but I came in last, and they said, "Oh my gosh, you know what? We've talked to all these different agents. We thought we were going to go with this one because he was going to offer a little discount. But after what you bring to the table, and the amount of experience of over 4,000 homes and 38 years in the trenches, and applying the right marketing, because you know the right marketing is where it starts. Once you have product knowledge, then we can really market it, and most agents won't spend the money to really highlight the features and benefits of your home, or do a digitized floor plan, other things that agents typically never do. And the reason they don't do it?
They don't want to spend the money.
Exactly. They
Right.
don't want to spend and invest. So, and then when it comes to salesmanship, knowing that we're not just entering something in the computer and hoping and praying. We can always get list services to do that for next to nothing, right? But that's the type of service you get, and you leave money on the table because there's no salesmanship. You can't create demand in the mind of the buyer's agent or the buyer that clicks on that button to see the home And now I go to work for my seller and get them much, much more.
His phone number to call is 602-615-6500. He says no home, no matter what size, no matter big or small, he does it all.
That's right.
And his website is randycourtney.com. And go ahead, do you want to talk a little bit about something here that's on the table before we talk a little bit about some of that salesmanship and what you do bring to the table besides that experience?
Well, I wanted to reach out to there's 78% of buyers in today's market. They're on the sidelines. And you ask, why? Why are they on the sidelines, if you had to guess?
I would like to know why, because I don't understand it myself.
Sure. Well, they think that rates are coming down and that we might be seeing some prices that might come down. Well, what's happening is, they're kind of waiting for the rate to come down, but we're actually seeing the market really stable and appreciating. So the longer they wait, the more they are paying. And so many buyers are deciding to lock the price in today, refinance in 6 months, because there's a good chance. It's election year. Every election year in this business I've been in, that rates have always come down every year, every election year. So, if you take and lock in price and you get the home you really want, and look at rents. Rents are just going crazy. We get a call yesterday, they've been there 5 years renting. And every year the rents have been going up. Now the owner just arbitrarily wants to sell. And now they have to move quick. They're done with renting. They're done with the idea that they can't do anything to their house that they really want to do. And they're not accumulating any interest. You know what the interest rate on rent is? 100%.
Zero.
100%. You're paying 100% interest.
Every time you pay the rent.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. No equity accumulation, nothing. No benefits, no tax benefits, nothing. It's like throwing that in your trash can and making your landlord rich.
But, this is the thing, folks. It's not the time necessarily to wait. It is the time to actually have that consultation with you, jump on it to see what he can do to help you get into the home, get that home that you really truly want, and you can refi probably within what?
After 6 months.
6 months. That's nothing.
Right now, the Fed should be coming out, and most economists agree about 3 or 5 rate cuts coming. So that means that by probably April, May, we're going to see some very favorable rates.
Which is really nice. And you know what's something? There's never a time where people aren't moving here. You said how many a day?
About 270.
270 a day with jobs.
Yes.
And that's another thing I want to talk about here in Arizona. We have such job growth.
Correct.
That is why there is so many there, and not a lot of people want to live. Not everybody wants to live in an apartment, right? They don't want to. They
Stacked
want
on
that
top of everybody.
Exactly. Right? They want to be able to take their dog out easily.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
And just think about, when rates do come down, what happens? Well, just like last time, we had just this plethora of buyers trying to vie for one property. Then you're basically competing and had multiple offers, and now you had to pay over list price. Right now, it's the current market. We can get deals.
A number to call him direct at 602-615-6500. Randy is celebrating this March right now his 38th year in the Valley, helping people buy and sell homes. And he does it doesn't matter what size at all, he does it all. That number to call again, 602-615-6500. It's randycourtney.com, and I always say put this number in the phone, right? This is a good idea because you may need it today. You might know somebody who needs it. You might need it tomorrow. The number again is 602-615-6500. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute. We're going to keep on going.
Okay. Sounds good.
And for you, what are you seeing in the market right now on a home that you put up for sale? About how long does it take to sell? You have to do things to it first, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We do a lot of planning. So when we sit down and discuss listing the property, we're looking at repairs, anything you need to do. We're looking at staging. We're looking at coming soon. We're looking at the pre-MLS going live. We're talking about the grand opening.
Yeah, so there's a lot before.
Just to start.
Just to start. So it'd be a couple of months before it even gets on the market
And
properly.
and here's the thing that we can always stress is that before we even think about we're going to be selling maybe next year or 6 months, 8 months, it's good to have me out for a planning session so we can talk about the updates that you need to do that are money well spent, that you're not going to waste money doing things that won't sell.
That you don't have to do.
So free consultation, planning session, not to list, just planning for the future. Being that your financial advisor, or I should say, I'm not sure if I had to say that, market advisor in the real estate game,
Okay.
real estate business. You know how you have a specialist as your accountant, you're an attorney specialist? You need a real estate broker as your specialist for all your real estate needs. One call, does it all.
You got it.
Been busy?
What's that?
You been busy?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. How about you?
Good.
Yeah, good. I see you online.
Getting it?
I do. I see you all the time. So welcome back. At the break, we were talking with Randy, and Randy was explaining how what he does being different than anybody is, first of all, that he is a professional market advisor.
Exactly.
I wrote it down that way for you because I believe that that's what you are. Number one, a professional, but the market advisor. Explain that.
Well, you know, when you're going through life and you have a financial advisor that's really directing you in the path you want to go, and you have a family attorney that really guides you of legal advice that you need. You do need that real estate broker that is going to advise you throughout your whole, and I've had many clients that have been with me 35, 38 years and have really benefited from that advice of saying, hey, should we sell? Just like, you know, when some clients, I've had many clients come out of the woodwork and saying, my gosh, you know, the market in 06, the market was dropping so fast and they were so fearful, and they go, we have to sell, we need to short sell. And they had perfect credit, they had jobs that they could make the payment, but they were fearful that the market would not stop dropping. And every one of them I asked, do you have to sell? Can you make the payment? Do you like the floor plan? Do you like everything about the house? And are you willing to take a hit on your credit? Every one of them that said, you know what, okay, we'll trust. It's just like stock, you know, stock's dropping like crazy. Oh, it's not the time to sell. And all those people that held on, gosh, the market is way above where it was from the bottom. They're thanking me profusely, you know, for just talking some sense as an advisor in the real estate game.
You have some paperwork in front of you, and I'm sure you wanted to get to some of it, and I've probably taken up most of the time with some of the other things that we've been talking here, but right there on the top, there's some like questions that you have that you probably have are some of the typical questions that you get asked.
Yes, you know, as far as the most buyers, the majority of buyers think that they need 20% down or more to buy. And we have programs with first-time buyers. We have down payment assistance programs. You can get in for as little as $0 down, especially if you're a veteran. First-time buyer, if you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years. We do also have conventional, only 3% down. and an FHA, of course, 3.5% down. So that's just a real good way of leveraging in and getting something started, because most people think, well, gosh, it's going to take me years to save as much as I need. You can also get gift money from family. There's the largest transfer of wealth in our nation's history, coming with all the baby boomers transferring that wealth or bequeathing that.
You can transfer some to me too.
Yes, and make sure they know my number.
Absolutely.
But you know, it's one of those things that you just have to know that the possibilities of home ownership is so much easier than you think.
One call does it all. He says, and big or small, they do it all. You can put this phone number in your phone. It's 602-615-6500. It's his 38th year this month helping people buy and sell homes in the Valley. RandyCourtney.com. Go ahead and talk about your planning sessions.
Well, we started off that kind of a segue of the marketing specialist, having a family broker in the real estate game that really knows the market. And just to explain, I've had so many clients that they just want to have a planning session. They're not going to sell for 1 year, 2 years, sometimes 5 years. I had one guy call me and say, Randy, hey, we talked 20 years ago. I'm ready now.
It happens a lot.
It happens. Mm-hmm. And whether the time is right now, but if it's coming up and you think it's going to be next year, 6 months, or 2 or 3 years, have me over just for a planning session, no obligation, 10, 15 minutes. Really kind of strategize and really look at your overall perspective of where you want to go and what you want to do. Because we start with that planning session. As we get closer to listing, then what we do is we sit down and we go through a whole game plan of, hey, and this is real helpful. A lot of people will say, well, as a broker, should I do this or that to my house? Is it going to be cost effective? And so many people have not called me before and maybe referred to me late. And I come in and they've done all these upgrades that won't sell. It's the wrong color, it's the wrong textures, the wrong things that they put in. So knowing that that's where we start, planning session, looking at what we can do to update and do carpeting, paint, things like that. Really what's going to give you the best bang for your buck. And then we enter the staging. Most agents won't talk about it. And another reason, you know why? They don't want to pay for a professional stager to come in and give us recommendations. It takes about 2 hours, and from top to bottom. If I listed my house right now, I'd have my stager come in and say, Randy, hey, this is what you need to do. The more you do, the more you make, and the faster it sells. So then we go into a coming soon time frame. So you guys are in control of the timing. You don't feel pressured. Then we have a pre-MLS going live. Then we go for the grand opening, for our grand opening open house. And it is just fantastic, because what happens is we create that frenzy, the demand that you need as a seller in today's market.
So you see, it may not be right even this moment. This is something that you prepare for, preparing to make sure that you are getting the best bang for your buck.
Exactly. Don't call me too late.
That phone number to call is 602-615-6500. His website's randycourtney.com. And what I love is that he is a professional market advisor. He will come in, and let's start with that planning session. It's for the future. It may not be today.
Exactly. Yeah. Whenever that date you might have in your mind, it's, I'll be in business for many, many years, and it's one of those things that you look at, hey, here's our goal, and here's where we want to sail. How can we get there best?
What do you find is the number one thing that people need to do when you first come in and do this planning session with them? What is the one thing that most everybody always needs to do?
It's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up, because every time, and I'm guilty of this, and when I point a finger, I'm pointing forward back at me, it's decluttering. We just have a habit of keeping things that are just not, they don't mean anything but to us, but they accumulate. And the larger the house, the more you accumulate. Mm-hmm. So we have to make the home show like a model, but yet still livable. And so that's the balancing act that we do. And come through and say, well, if you moved this furniture, got rid of this extra recliner, and did these things, and make your home show more like a model, the more you make, and the faster it sells.
He says here too, the more you do, the more money you make. right?
Exactly.
And the faster
Yep.
it'll sell in the long run.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's my goal, is to put more money in your pocket. And talking about salesmanship, when I have a client come to me and say, hey, can we get 680? I say, well, we're putting it up for 7. And after the weekend, we have multiple offers, and we have the best offer at 705. And they said, Randy, you're great. Hey, send it over. I'll sign it. Done. And I say, wait. Let's hang on. I go back to them. I get the bidders up to 750.
What do you want? You want less or more? You got to call Randy if you want more.
Yeah, it works, and my whole goal is to get more money in your pocket.
That number again, put this number in your phone. It's 602-615-6500. And there are a lot of first-time home buyers, right?
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether you're seasoned, whether if you're buying or selling. Randy, he can help you make sure that you get top dollar, or you're going to get the home of your dream.
Absolutely, and we have a lot of investors too that we work with. If you've been frustrated, trying to find properties and you can't find it, we can typically, if it's out there, we'll find it. And then we do 1031 tax deferred exchanges where you don't pay any capital gain and take all that capital gain right into the next property, so you're not paying Uncle Sam.
Wow.
You're paying yourself.
So you see, that's something that I've never heard anybody mention ever before. And this is something that you work with strictly investors? Or anybody can
Or,
do it.
just mom and pop say, hey,
Right.
you got a net extra property with a rental, and they have no idea that they can take that equity and roll it into another property.
So it's just that piece is another financial
Yep.
tool, I should call
Exactly.
it, right?
Yes.
Well, that's what home ownership also gives you.
That's right. Equity and creating wealth for generations.
For generations. Randy has been doing it. This month is his 38th year, and he's here. He tells you that no, big or small, they handle it all. One call does it all, right?
That's right.
What else do you want to talk about today?
Well, talking about the market and where it's headed, I think that we really are in a perfect time where buyers are kind of waiting, but as soon as keep watching rates, and if you look at the 10-year Treasury, that's going to tell you from day to day where rates are going. And so as they drop, we're going to see demand as we come in to the busiest time of our year, from March to midsummer. Now is the time we're going to see that activity.
Buy it now. You can refi later.
Exactly.
And in only 6 months, which
Right.
is really nothing, right? We said that earlier.
Blink an eye, 6 months is gone.
6 months is gone, and you can turn it around. I know a lot of people that do things like that with cars. That in their head, for some reason, is okay.
Right.
But they
And
don't
there's
think
some
about it for the home.
Very aggressive no-cost refis out there that will cost you minimal and really save you money. And you've locked in the price, and you're not having to pay a higher price in 6 months or 8 months.
Randy, with people when they call you, obviously it starts with a consultation. What do you ask for them? What's the first thing that you want to know from them?
Well, what your schedule is and when I can get in. I've had so many people that didn't want to meet, but after they met, they're like, you know what? You have my interest at heart, not a quick sale. I want to be your advisor for life.
That's what he's all about, is helping you not only make the bang for your buck, but also to be your real estate advisor for life. And he's a professional at what he does. There is nobody in the valley, and I'm telling you this right. I've known you for a very long time, and I see you all over the place. Nobody in the valley that does what he does like Randy does. So the phone number again, it's 602-615-6500. Check him out. It's randycourtney.com.